Hello, everyone. This is me, George from Pageant Empress, and today with me, I have a very special guest with me. She is the reigning Miss Supranational Japan 2024, Yuki.
This is Yuki Sonoda, Miss Supranational 2024.
Yes,
You.
and it has. It's, for me, I don't feel that awkward talking to you because this is technically our second time actually having conversation, talking in the video. I had you featured previously about 4 years ago when you competed at the Miss Universe Japan, and I'm so happy to see such growth and development in the last 4 years since then. You look so beautiful and confident at the moment.
Thank you, George. A lot of things happened for the past 4 years. Right now, I am an actress here in the Philippines, and I think that boosted my confidence.
I can see it. I can feel it when I'm talking to you at the moment. Like, you don't have this aura that you look so much more at ease, more comfortable and confident when you're actually talking to me. I know we just started the interview, but I can just feel that sense from you.
Thank you, George.
Okay, let's just pretend that you're already at the Poland, so you're at the Miss Supranational final stage. So could you say your name, age, and Japan with a lot of
Okay.
enthusiasm?
Yuki Sonoda, Miss Japan.
That was great. I don't know if in Supra they have the on the stage. I think you have audio, right? Like a clipping of you actually saying that. I don't know if it's like Miss Universe we actually say it on the stage.
Yes, I think we have an introduction of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
excited to shout Japan.
Yes. Finally, it's been quite a process. So I'm going to go straight into the question. You have so many fans, by the way. So I got like so
Thank
many. I had to kind of do a screening to like which one should I pick because there are too many. So we'll go straight to your fan questions first, then I'll ask you the other questions because I do know quite a bit about you already. So the
Okay.
first question comes from the Pageant Times, and they ask, as a reigning Miss Supranational Japan,
Yeah.
how is your life different, and how are you different from the previous representative from Japan?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that question. Well, I think, every one of us, every representative, we are all different in our own ways. We have our own stories, we have our own experiences. But I think what makes me different is that I lived in two countries and I was able to see two cultures, Filipino culture and Japanese culture. So I'd like to represent Japan, but at the same time, Philippines in my heart.
Yes, you're so blessed because you are from, the country of rising sun like Japan, which is so highly advanced in technology. It's just incredible culture. And of course, the Philippines, you have so much passion for the pageantry. I mean, you're already in Manila, so it kind of makes sense. So it's like such a great combination of two different countries.
Yes, I'm lucky to have the best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah. You are, definitely. So the next question for you comes from all none underscore 42. They ask, how much is your preparation you're doing by yourself for Miss International? And just tell us a little bit about your preparations as well with your team.
Okay, so, well, right now that I'm in the Philippines, I do preparations with Miss Supranational organization through online. So we have online meetings like this, and we're talking about my national costume, what would I wear, how would I, present myself in front of everyone. But at the same time, I have a team here in the Philippines as well, and they are helping me um, plan for my dress, and also I have RL again. During Miss Universe Japan, he was the one who taught me how to walk and how to do my Q&A. So he's also helping me right now, not online anymore,
In
not
person.
virtual.
Right.
We finally were able to train, not virtually, but actual training. And also, I have a lot of people who supports me here in the Philippines. So I'm really thankful for everyone. I'm not doing it alone. I have a lot of support from Japan and the Philippines.
Okay, yes. So the next question, this person is quite sneaky. So I'm actually putting two questions from the same person. This comes from Yash Ramos, and she asks, as a law graduate, what universal law would you like to pass to help your advocacy?
Oh, difficult
Tough
question.
question. Yeah, very like on stage question for you.
I got nervous about that. Wait. Well, my advocacy is the same during my Miss Universe Japan time. It's women's health, but right now I'm also focusing on health in general. So
Okay.
if I could make one law, I'd like to have a law that gives people all over the world mandatory annual health checkup, because I know that a lot of people are taking their health, taking advantage of their health, and also there are people who cannot afford to have general health check. But I think that it's very important for us to know what's happening to our bodies, and I really felt that when I had an ovarian cyst surgery. So I'd like everyone. I want to tell everyone that you should go for annual health checkup every year, and I would be happy if we have a law like that.
Yes, I think that really help and save a lot of people's life too. Because sometimes, for example, if you are suffering from cancer and it's quite a later stage cancer, it is quite hard for you to recover and maintain a healthy life. So I have cases, I've heard cases of women who just found out when they're like a stage like 4 cancer, and it's quite late, right? So you can't really do much to it. So hopefully this law could be passed. So universally, like you said, yes.
Yes.
So second question, but just one moment, something went inside my eye. One
It's
moment.
okay. Are
I
you
think it's a
okay?
fly. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. I think it's like some insect just went in, but it's okay. Okay, let's continue. So, from the same person, second question is: as a Filipino Japanese, what are the traits or culture that you would like to showcase at the Miss Supranational stage, and to make you stand out?
They sound different, but they have so many similarities. Like the hospitality, I think in Japan and the Philippines, we treasure. It's very important for us to be hospitable all the times. But I think that in my Japanese part, I'd like to show lots of respect, and I'd like to tell them that Japanese people are really hardworking. I'll show that on the Miss International stage, and also for the Filipino part, I would like to be jolly and be friendly with everyone, treat them as a family. I think those are the traits that I can show during the Miss Supranational competition.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that because you grew up in both countries, right? You went, I think, age 10, like you went quite young to Japan.
Yes.
Was it quite difficult for you to adjust to the Japanese customs? Like, I think you have to like bow down a lot, like to elders, right? Like, was it quite difficult for you to do that? Or, like, how was
It
it?
was. To be honest with you, it was really difficult for me to adjust
Okay,
because in Japan, everyone is so polite, and
right,
I had to memorize all these rules. And in
right.
Japan, it seems like a lot of people are just following these rules naturally. But in my
Okay,
case, I had one. There's this one time that I needed to
okay,
change my shoes in order to go in my school, but I didn't
okay.
change my shoes. I just went in with my outdoor shoes, and
Outdoors, yeah.
then
Uh-huh.
yes, and then my teacher told me that it's not allowed for us to wear outdoor shoes inside the school. So that was really different for me. I was shocked, but it was really fun to learn more culture.
Okay. And then you touched on a little bit during the Miss Universe Japan. You talked about your mother kind of inspiring you to learn Japanese, right? So how did you learn Japanese? Because now you're fluent in the language and you're representing Japan. So tell us a little bit about the process behind learning Japanese, because it's quite a difficult language to learn.
Mhm. So when I moved to Japan, everyone I was 10 years old. So everyone in Japan, they already started learning kanji, which is the most difficult character in a Japanese word. So I started from a very difficult age, but then my father, he would teach me every day at home after school. He would teach me from hiragana, katakana, the easy ones, until kanji. And also, I was so blessed to have a good principal at my elementary school. He also taught me. So
Okay.
after I go to school, I go to the principal's office to learn a bit of Japanese, and then when I go home, my father taught me how to write and read in
Okay.
Japanese. So that was
Oh, that's sweet.
a lot of
Uh-huh.
hard work.
So you had to do like a lot of like, of course, like the school studies, but at the home as well, like a homework from your father
Yes.
to improve. So since you're fluent in Japanese, can you say maybe like a sentence to any message you'd like to give to your Japanese followers, supporters who's watching this interview? Anything in Japanese?
Okay. So 皆さん、日本にいる皆さん、こんにちは。園田ミススプラナショナルジャパン2024の園田祐希です。この度は日本代表としてミススプラナショナルに、挑戦しますので、頑張りますので、ぜひ応援よろしくお願いします。
Arigato. Arigato. I think I understood what he said, but I'll put subtitles because when I edit the video, they usually have like auto translates. I think it'll pick it up. You say like, "Hello, I am Yuki Sonoda, Miss Supranational, Japan. Please support me on my journey." Right?
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Okay.
Wow,
Perfect.
you understand?
No, I watch animes a lot. Like I love Japanese culture. I love Japanese men. I
Oh,
have dated some, so like, and the food. I love Japanese food. It's so delicious. It's not too spicy. It's not too like sweet. It's like
yes.
the perfect balance for me. So like, you're so lucky, Yuki. You have like the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
thank
sorry. I
you.
have one more last question from a fan. Sorry, I almost missed it. It's by Yana dot official fan page, and they ask, "What is your future dream?" So after Miss Supranational, what is your future dream?
Well, I have a lot, but one of my dream is to build a foundation about women's health. I'd like
Okay.
to gather lots of women to just talk about their health and about
Right.
what's happening to their bodies. And I'd like to make my own foundation with that. And after that, since I'm an actress here in the Philippines, I really want to try to do acting in Hollywood, maybe.
That'd be great. Uh-huh.
Yes, and I'd like to get awards. That is my dream.
So one day, hopefully, have like your own name at the Hall of Fame, like in the Hollywood. Yeah, it's like
Yes,
Yuki, right? Yeah, your name
that's a
in there.
dream. That's a dream.
I think that's possible, especially since now we're seeing after Crazy Rich Asian, there's a surge in Asian actors finally getting a break into the Hollywood. So I think it was overdue, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's about time, and we're seeing some Asian faces in Hollywood. So I think that's a great future. So I'll take you back. I know that you've traveled quite a lot, right? Looking at your Instagram, your social media, you've traveled quite a bit. So
Yeah.
from all the places you have traveled to, which is your favorite place? But you cannot pick Japan. So it has to be a different country outside
Okay.
of Japan. Which is your favorite place?
My favorite place would be
Yes.
Thailand. I really love Thailand. I went there last year actually, and I love the food. I love the people. Everyone, I don't know. I feel like when everyone talks, it's just so soft and it seems like they're so kind. That's why I really want to go back to Thailand since it's just near the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to Thailand to explore more about the country.
Yes, I think you should definitely. And the food obviously is delicious, quite affordable. And also, I was actually talking like a few days ago to a Filipino teacher. Like she just
Yeah.
recently moved here and she teaches English, and she was like so happy. Like she's just thought like, she had a great hospitality here, and she was just enjoying her stay in Chiang Mai, the place I'm staying at the moment. And like she was sharing just so much great experience here. She was here for about 3 months so far, so I think
Oh,
you'll have a great time too. Yeah, there are a lot of Filipino teachers here, by the way, like English teachers in high school.
I think Filipino and Thailand can be best friends because
Yeah,
it
and
seems
hopefully in pageant too. Mhm.
yes, it seems like they have similar cultures and similar values. So
Yes,
I
and
really enjoy Thailand.
yeah, I think you will. And like I was just going to say, like I in pageantry, we're not the best friends. Like sometimes, especially in female pageants in Miss Universe, there's some competition. But I just think we need to get along because we're already like there's only few countries in Asia that compete at like international pageants. So let's just get
Mhm.
along, yeah, and support. Okay, so next question for you is: how do you describe yourself, Yuki, in just 3 words?
I'm hardworking. I'm happy,
Okay,
and I'm courageous.
great selection of words.
Yeah.
And so, one special quality or talent, it could be anything, or hobby that you have that we will not know about Yuki, by just looking at you?
I really love singing. I go to the karaoke a lot.
Okay.
A lot of people will get surprised whenever I do a story on Instagram and I sing. They're like, "Oh, so you're a singer?" I'm like, "I'm not a professional, but I really love singing." And karaoke was one of the reasons why I also learned Japanese. I think when I didn't know how to speak Japanese, I just looked at the
Okay.
lyrics, and I
Yeah.
was able to learn a lot of words.
And I believe there's a talent competition at Miss Supranational, right? So
Yes,
would we be singing? Is that like a giveaway?
yes, that's a giveaway. I'm going to be singing.
Okay. So like, you don't have to say the song, but like, who was your favorite singer that you grew up listening to and singing to learn Japanese?
Taylor Swift. I really like.
Really? But she's not Japanese.
Oh, not Japanese. Okay, a Japanese
No, I mean
singer.
like Japanese singer that help you learn the language because you said you grew up listening to Japanese songs, right? So,
Okay, this
yeah.
will be another hint. But
Oh, okay. Go on.
okay, it's Utada Hikaru. She's a Japanese singer who grew up in the U.S. So she knows both English and Japanese. So her songs are kind of mixed with Japanese and English words. When I don't know the meaning, I'll see the English lyrics and then I will try
Okay.
to figure out what is the song about.
Okay. No, that's sweet. No, that's sort of when you said Taylor, I was like, no, like the Japanese one who helped you learn the
Yes,
language. I don't think she's Japanese, but okay.
I wish.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she needs to travel a bit more to Asia. And she was in Singapore like a few months ago. She skipped all of us, like in Southeast Asia, except for Singapore. So she needs to come to Philippines and Thailand too, because we love her. Like I'm a huge Swiftie.
She
So
has lots of fans in Philippines and
yes,
Thailand, I guess. So
yes, yes.
I hope she travels more to Asia. She will love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, especially Southeast Asia. There's so many fans. There are like millions of them. And I would love to go to Singapore, but the ticket is too expensive. Especially like the overall package is way
Yeah,
too more than like what I can afford. So
I
yeah, I
have the
missed it.
same. I had the same situation with you, George. I really wanted to watch her, but the tickets are just so expensive.
Yeah.
I
And you
couldn't.
have to go to another country for that too. Like
Yeah,
it's like, and Singapore is not that affordable. It's like one of the most expensive countries in Asia. We all know that, especially the people watching this, that you had actually placed second runner up at the Miss Universe Japan, right? And I also interviewed you about 4 years ago. So, what is the biggest difference that you found between the Yuki in Miss Universe Japan in comparison to the Miss Supranational Japan 2024 Yuki?
I wanted to tell this to everyone, but during Miss Universe Japan, I was really pressured. I really just wanted to have the crown. The crown it was the main thing in my head. So I feel like I got so nervous about it. So my performance during that time, I was really nervous, and I can see it even through the videos,
Right.
even through my how I talk. So during the Supranational Japan, I changed my mindset. It wasn't the crown for me. It was me giving a good show to the people who are watching. So I think that was the different part. I really enjoyed Miss Supranational Japan. I wasn't that nervous. I was just thinking about the people who are watching. I was like, oh, I'll give them a good show. And I was really ready to give good entertainment.
Yeah, there's this saying that sometimes like the universe guides you, and like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? Like you're destined for supernational. So maybe back then, maybe you're not mentally ready for international pageants. So the universe kind of told, maybe just wait a moment, maybe a couple of years, you'll be ready, then you can represent Japan. And this was the moment for you. Yeah.
Yes, I think so
Uh,
too.
And you talked about a little about your social advocacy. So can you talk about why did you start the social project that you're currently doing? Any charity work that you're doing at the moment, and what inspired you to start this project?
The inspiration came from my own experiences because I had an ovarian cyst surgery 4 years ago, right before Miss Universe Japan. And
Mhm.
during that time, I wasn't even able to join pageants or to follow any dreams that I had. So what I realized is that it is very important to tell people inside the hospital that their dreams are still valid. They can still recover, they can still get up and follow their dreams. So, my charity works and all of my advocacies right now is about health in general and for the people who are struggling with sickness right now. Because I think that they need someone, they need inspiration, they need hope for them to be able to follow their dreams and believe in their dreams. I'd like to be that hope.
Yes, and then, like I said, there's so many people. Especially, I know that I'm pretty sure you also went through that. I heard that if you're mixed in Japan, sometimes you go through a bit of discrimination, maybe like a bit of bullying. So, did you had any of that in high school, and how did you overcome that? Because I remember in Miss Universe Japan, the top five, I think they were all mixed race, if I'm not
Yes,
wrong.
yes,
So,
we
tell me
were all.
about your story first. Yeah, and the Miss Universe Japan, obviously.
So my story first, when I came to Japan, as I told you, I was
Right.
only 10 years old. So
Yeah.
a lot of kids were surprised because even my introduction to everyone was in English. So it was
Okay.
new for everyone. And after that, I got bullied for a bit because I didn't know how to speak, and I didn't even know how to talk back. So I was just being quiet, and I just told myself that I think these people just don't know what's going on. Like they saw something new, so they're just curious. So I didn't think about it as bullying. I just thought that they were not aware of what's going on or what's in front of them.
Right.
So I just keep it to myself and just did hard work for me to be able to talk to them in the future. So after 2 years, I was able to talk to them, and then everything. I became friends with those bullies as well.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
and during Miss Universe Japan, actually, not only five in top five, I think around 10 candidates were
Okay. Like
half Filipino.
half?
Yes.
Okay. So how is it to like
So
together celebrating being Japanese and of course the other part of you as well?
I think, during that time, I found my own group, my home,
Okay.
because everyone was experienced the same things that I experienced when I was little. I thought it was only me, but there were lots of halfies who experienced the same, and all of us we had different cultures as well because not all of us are just half Filipinas. We were
Right.
like half New Zealand, half American, half Nigerian, and we were talking about our experiences when we were little, and also we were saying that it's this Miss Universe Japan is already like an international pageant.
Yes, it was
Yeah,
because they were like from different backgrounds, like you said, right? I think the top two were the first were two half black Japanese
yes.
to hold hands to.
Our
So I was
winner
like, wow,
was
that's
our winner
amazing.
was
Mm.
half Ghanaian, and his first runner up was half Nigerian.
Oh yeah, like half Africans.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's the first time we saw it because I know before that, I think in 2015, PS, yeah, it was the
Mhm.
first time they sent a half biracial, half black woman to Miss Universe. And I think this was the second or third time that we actually had like two of them. The final two were being a woman of color. So that's incredible.
That was incredible, and I was also happy with the results because I saw how the winners were really ready for this Miss Universe crown. So I
Mm.
was really happy about Miss Universe Japan as well.
Yes. So I want to take you back a little bit. So I know you were born in the Philippines, right? Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so born and raised in the Philippines until the age of 10. So where in the Philippines did you grow? Because I'm pretty sure our Filipino viewers would love to know where are you from in the Philippines. So tell us about that.
So I was born and raised in Parañaque. I was there until 10 years old with my family, and in the south, I studied in an international school, and that's where I learned how to speak English. Yes, most likely. Yeah, I lived with my uncle,
Okay.
who's now he actually sad story. He was my best cheerleader. He was the one who supported me through pageants, but he passed away 2 years ago because of COVID, after, right after Miss Universe Japan. So actually, my Miss Supranational crown is dedicated to him.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm sure he is looking down at you and he's very proud of your achievements so far. That yeah, you're going to represent not only Japan but also him and your entire family. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're making them proud.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question for you is more about elements. I'm not sure if you're into any like the universe and the I don't know if you're into the card reading, but
Elements.
I oh you are okay. I'm into because I have like my tarot cards right next to me. Anyways, yeah. So my question to you actually is, which element best represents you between earth, wind, fire, and water, and why?
I'm a water person.
You're water. Okay.
Water. I
Okay.
don't know, but yeah. Since I love going to the beach, and
I
I
mean, you're in the
just
Philippines, right, at the moment, so like it's not that
yes,
far away from the ocean.
the ocean, and also my father is from an island in Japan called Okinawa Island. So I
Okay.
feel like ever since I was born, I was surrounded by water,
Okay.
and I think that I feel the happiest when I'm near the ocean or the beach. So
Okay.
for my own, if I would choose my own, I will be water.
Yes. What is your life motto? So what keeps you to push yourself forward?
It's called Doryoku wa uso tsukanai in Japanese, and it's like hard work never lies.
Okay.
Because I think that whatever I do in life, even if I'm not good at it, as long as I do hard work and I have this discipline, I feel
Right.
like I can achieve whatever I want. So that is my motto in life. No matter how hard it is, no matter how you struggle and you can't do it, I think as long as you have this passion and you do hard work, you will be able to achieve whatever.
I agree with you. I think it's just about just putting in the hard work and the dedication. Like if you want something, you may not even be the best person for the job, but if you just show that you really are passionate about it, I think that person is hiring for the job applicant, you'll get the job. So that's what
Yes.
I say in pageantry too. Like you don't have to be the most beautiful, you don't have to be the most tallest girl, the skinniest girl. You just have to be the one who's most ready, the one who's
Yes.
really wants that crown. So I agree with you on that. Okay, so the next one. I feel like I know the answer, but I'm so good to ask you. Who has been the most influential person in your life and why is that person has made such a big difference in your life?
Oh, so you know the answer. Yeah.
I feel like I know because usually people say the same answer, but go on.
It will be my mother, of course. I know that you know the answer. My mother, she has been my inspiration because ever since I was little, she told me about her story. When
Okay.
she was little,
Uh-huh.
she worked for her family since she was 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
yes, and she's been selfless. She's been working hard for her family in the Philippines because they weren't that rich. So I'm really I get inspiration from her because she's this selfless, nice, and kind-hearted person who is always there to support me with my dreams. Even though our dreams are different from each other, like her
Right.
dream for me is different. And she accepted what she accepted my dreams because at first she wasn't really supportive of me joining pageants or being in the entertainment industry,
Okay.
but she was there to support me at the end. And I'm really inspired by her because she's always thinking about other people, not only about herself.
Yes, and I think like our moms, and even though I know, like I said, like I know the answer because everyone says like mother or like father, but I think like our family, they are our biggest cheerleaders, right? Like whether we are like really sad, maybe we had a breakup in high school with the boyfriends, or like we want to chase our dreams, like doing pageantry, they will
I
always
re-
be there for us. Regardless of any
Okay,
mistakes we made. Yeah.
breakup from the boyfriends. I remember something.
I mean, you don't have to say it because it's quite personal, but like, yeah. So, what has been your proudest achievement in your life so far?
Is Miss
Okay.
Supranational Japan, because to be honest with you, I didn't expect me joining a pageant again
Oh,
after,
really? Okay.
yes, after Miss Universe Japan, or after giving the Miss Charm Japan crown to another
Uh-huh.
representative. I focused on being an actress, but when I told myself that I wanted to join again, it was me thinking about the people that I inspired before, the people
Right.
with my advocacy. Like,
Mhm.
I was thinking about them. So I thought that, this is the biggest achievement, because I'm not thinking about myself as well. I was thinking about the people behind it, the ones who supported me, and the people that I will inspire. So this Miss Supranational Japan is my biggest achievement.
Yes, I can definitely see that. By the way, I did not know you studied law. So, are you a qualified lawyer at the moment?
No, I didn't take the board exam yet. But
Okay.
if I will take the exam, I can be a lawyer.
Okay. So,
I
is that your future ambition? Like, would you like to complete the studies, or would you like to just go towards acting? I didn't know that. I thought you studied something else. Your
oh,
background.
yes, I studied international business law, but
Okay.
I will pursue acting. I won't get the license anymore,
Mm.
but right now, since I am doing my own business as well,
Okay.
I am able to get knowledge from that, from what I learned during college, because I'm
Okay.
doing international business right now.
Okay.
So even though I don't have the license, I feel like I'm using it in a different way.
Mhm. And I know that your huge passion is acting, right? And I believe you have done some movies in the Philippines. So tell me about was it a horror movie, if I'm not wrong? Was it horror? Or was it
The first one was a thriller movie. The
okay,
ones
tell me about that.
the
Yeah.
one that is out is a
How was it? Uh,
thriller movie. The industry, after I joined Miss Universe Japan, the Philippine um, entertainment industry people, they saw me, and a lot of them interviewed me, gave me features on lots of medias in the Philippines, and then some of them asked me to go to the Philippines to act. They were like,
okay.
"Oh, you can speak Tagalog as well, so you might want to act here in the Philippines." So I followed that, and luckily I got into management in the Philippines and had some movies. And after 2 years of that, right now I'm under one of the most famous managements in the Philippines. It's called Viva Artists Agency. A lot of Filipino stars are from that management.
Okay.
So I'm very excited for the future. Actually, I just entered the management, so I'm really excited. I actually took one movie last month. No, not last month. Yeah, April. In April,
Okay.
I took a movie in Taiwan, and it's coming out soon. So I'm excited to show.
Taiwan?
Yes, in
Okay.
Taiwan, we took a movie in Taiwan.
Is it a Filipino? Is it like Taiwanese movie?
It is a Filipino movie, but with a Filipino who's working in Taiwan.
Okay. Okay. You don't have to say more, but like, I'm really excited for that venture when it comes out. Yeah. Okay. So looking at you, you see so bubbly, so fresh, and so stylish and chic, of course. So who is your style inspiration and who inspires you in terms of fashion?
When it comes to fashion, I'm always inspired by, well, a lot of people on social media right now is so fashionable. So
Yes.
I get my inspiration through social media, but my main um, fashion icon would always be Audrey Hepburn. She's really classy and elegant at the same time. So she would be my fashion icon forever.
I can see that. Also, the outfit you're wearing is very similar. I mean, it's not the same, but it's very similar to what she wore at the opening scene at the breakfast at Tiffany's. It kind of reminds me of that. It's like a modern twist of that
Yeah.
dress. I see it. You thought this might not happen because you said Miss Universe Japan, and that's it. So, what made you go, okay, let's try once more, one more chance at Miss Supranational?
Our first love that we will go back to. So my
Right.
first love was pageants. And when I saw that Miss Supranational is having a different kind of competition, Miss Supranational Japan is having a different kind of competition this year. And I saw that it is the 50th anniversary of Miss Supranational. I
Yes.
was I was really thinking, but at the same time I got really excited just by looking at that. So mm, I didn't even think twice when I saw those posts and those facts.
Right.
I just joined immediately.
And you won in the end, right? Like it might be quite like a last minute option. Maybe I don't know like how you maybe saw like an applicant and you're like, you know what, let me just do it in a
Yes,
rush, and you got the crown. So
yes,
it worked out for you in the end.
it did.
So if you could give your younger self, let's say when you just freshly moved to Japan, like young Yuki, a piece of advice, what would you tell her?
I would tell her, hang in there. You will be okay in the future. Right now, you'll be struggling with lots of things, and it's hard to have friends, but you will be okay in the future. So just hang in there and do what you're doing right now because you're doing great, and I'm proud of you.
Yes. And also, do not forget to mention that she will be also representing Japan, the entire country, at an international platform. So I think that will give us some confidence. So yeah, just
Okay.
keep learning Japanese. It's very important. Yeah.
Yes.
But we have come almost to the end. I have three more questions. We're doing a great job, by the way. It's been 40 minutes we've been talking about. You are fluent in Tagalog, right? I haven't made you like say anything in Tagalog. So to our Filipino viewers watching this interview, would you like to say any message, anything you would like to say to Filipino fans in Tagalog,
Oh,
please? Yeah.
okay. Hello, everyone. Sa mga kaibigan ko sa Pilipinas and sa mga supporters ko. Ako po si Yuki Sonoda, Miss Supranational Japan 2024. And napakasaya ko po na kahit na Japan po yung sash ko, nandyan po kayo para suportahan ako. I will do my best sa Miss Supranational Pageant this coming July. So, sana po suportahan niyo ako hanggang sa huli. Thank you po.
Yes, and I think you said what mabuhay. How do you say it? Thank you. I forgot.
Salamat po.
Oh, salamat. Yeah, that's it. Salamat. I completely forgot. I was watching Miss Universe Philippines like a few days ago, and completely like it went out of my mind. And
Yeah.
I think she's the first black, half black Filipina, right, going to Miss Universe in the history of
So,
fashion. So
yes,
that's
she was
great to
born in
see.
Nepal.
That yeah, I feel like Philippines is finally catching up because I know there's some issues with the colorism, but it's finally getting there on the right path. So I'm
Finally
really
getting
happy to
there.
see it.
I'm
Yes.
excited for that.
If you could talk to one person from history for 1 hour, it could be a lunch date, it could be a dinner date for 1 hour, right? Living or dead, that person from history, who would it be and why?
I would say it will be Marie Curie because she through my advocacy, I think I learned about her, how she struggled during her time when she did her research for the radioactivity. I think she is one of the person who helped people who had heavy sickness. And in that case, we have the same advocacy. I feel like we have the same values when it comes to health. We want to help people who are struggling with their sickness. So I'd like to talk to her and ask her how did she do it? Like how did she have this courage and dedication to help people who are sick, even though she had a difficult situation before, even
Right.
though women cannot have good like education. How did she handle all of those problems and was able to get even two Nobel Prizes? So
Yes.
I want to talk to Marie Curie, really.
Yes, that 1 hour might not be enough time for you to actually discuss the whole thing because I'm sure it would take days for her to actually explain to you how it happened. Because I think she's the first woman to win Nobel Peace
Yes,
Prize, right?
yes,
Yeah, if
she
I'm not
wants.
wrong. What is the most important life lesson you have learned from your own life?
I learned that health in general is really important in my life because, as I told you, 5 years ago I had this ovarian cyst surgery, and during that time I struggled a lot. I didn't even have the power to pursue my dreams, to even think about what I will do after I have this surgery. So I thought that number one for us to be able to do whatever we want, number one is to be healthy. And I'd like to tell this to a lot of people in the world because a lot of people are just taking their health for taking it for advantage. They just think that they'll be healthy all the time, but that is not the point there. Like, a lot of people get sick all of a sudden, so we need to be able to know what's happening to our bodies all the time. So
Absolutely.
my biggest life lesson is that I should be aware of what's happening to my body for me to be able to achieve my dreams and goals.
Yes, I think in order to have a long, like Japanese people have probably one of the oldest people, right? Like they live for
Yeah,
a while. If I'm not wrong, they have like adults diaper, like for elderly in
yeah,
Japan, it's quite popular than like children's diaper. I heard, if I'm not wrong, because of the low birth decline in Japan. So yeah, if you want to live long life, follow that mindset of Japanese people. Eat healthy, do not eat too much junk food, and take care of yourself. It's very
yes.
important. Yeah. And the last question, which is probably the most important question that I'll be asking you today, is Yuki Sonoda, Miss Supranational Japan. Why do you think you deserve to be the next Miss Supranational?
I deserve to be the next Miss Supranational winner because I'm not only thinking about myself, I think about people, and I think about how to encourage them for them to be able to reach their highest potential. And I think that I'm not only a queen by words, but I would like to take action on whatever I say. So I think with those abilities, I can be the next Miss Supranational.
Yes, that'd be great. That's a great answer. And first one from Japan, right? I don't think Japan has ever won Miss Supranational.
Yes,
So
the
also
first.
great history. So thanks for doing the interview with me, Yuki. So do you have, in the end, do you have any message you'd like to give to your supporters, your fans? You can do right now.
Thank you very much, George. For my supporters and fans, I'm doing my best to prepare for Miss Supranational 2024. So I would like to thank everyone for supporting me until today. And I hope that you could support me until the end because I'm doing my best to get the first Miss Supranational crown for Japan.
Yes. So please make sure to go follow her on her social media. You could see on the screen and also in the description of this video. Please support her. When are you flying, by the way? Because I know Miss Supranational is happening very soon.
Yes, I'm flying on June 16th, so that's 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. Okay. And you're
Yes.
going straight from Manila to Poland? Or are you going back to your country and going?
I'm going straight from Manila because I'll get all my things from Manila.
Okay, so yeah, we're really excited to see your evening gown, your national costume, and all of that because I know that you have collaborated with so many talented Japanese and Filipino artists. So I'm really looking forward for that as well. So if you enjoyed our interview, guys, make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe to this channel, and also give once again to her a lot of love and support on her journey to Miss Supranational 2024. And see you guys next time in my next video. So bye bye.
Thank you. See you.